Hey, what's up everyone? Back for a Tuesday NBA video. Absolutely killed it on Monday. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander put up 10x, triple-double, a monster triple-double. Obviously, if you watched yesterday's video, you knew he was the thumbnail of the video. It was all over him and got him pretty low owned as well. So let's keep it going. You can drop a like and subscribe. Let's try to get 200 plus likes. On this video, I posted the update on Twitter after the Pelicans news. So it's pretty heavy on them. I had Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball had each one more, Melly, SGA, and then I had McCollum and Whiteside and LeBron James still to play. So should be a killer night on Draftkings. We're at over 202 with LeBron, Whiteside, and McCollum to play. And then Fanduel is looking great as well. Had SGA on both. So yeah, pretty confident we're going to crush it tonight. So let's get into it. You can drop a like and subscribe, like I said. And if you want to join, you can visit the website. Links in description. And you can follow me on Twitter at the DFS process to stay up to date later in the day. So here at point guard, DraftKings finally did it. They put James Harden at 13,000. Even at this price point, I think he's still a tough fade just because the matchup is so good. I mean, if he was 13K against like a Denver team without Westbrook or a Lakers without Westbrook, it would be easier not to have him, but just feel like he's the best play, especially when another pay-up option, Luka Doncic, is at 12.6. There's not much of a gap there, so feel like James Harden is the way to go. Still waiting to see if Trae Young can play. He's questionable. Mitchell's probable. Rubio is questionable. So there's some injury news that we'll need to hash out. But starting off, I think James Harden just looks amazing. 13K against the Grizzlies. They play fast. Should be a very competitive... Well, the Grizzlies have been playing well, so hopefully it can be competitive. And without Westbrook, it should be more competitive. And it's in Memphis. Over at shooting guard, the DraftKings did a pretty good job of pricing some guys up, like Lou Williams at 75. Lou Williams 7,500. Chris Middleton 74. They did price up D'Angelo Russell, but I feel like going back to Russell here just wasn't on any sort of limit like I expected. It was against the Grizzlies, but he's facing off against the Mavericks. It's at home. Both times he's faced off against Dallas this year, he's gone off. Just did it recently. Put up 52 fantasy points. He is just the focal point of the offense. Damian Lee is not going to play, so there's not a ton of other guys that are willing to shoot on this team. It's really D'Angelo Russell. You'll get Alec Burks shooting some, but it's going to be an easy 20-plus shots for Russell here at home. Dominating the usage rate. Still at a good price point. He should be in the mid-8Ks at least. At small forward here, like Giannis at 12.2. He's probably my least favorite spend up just because this game should probably be a blowout against the Knicks. The Bucks are pretty much all healthy with Bledsoe back and Middleton. So they are super dangerous. The Knicks will probably get blown out here, so I'm not that interested. I do like Kawhi a little bit at 10K, but that's another game that could get out of hand. Oubre priced up to 79. Hopefully played him at 67 the other day because I don't think... I mean, you can still play him at 79, but with it being a stars and scrubs kind of day, I don't think he's going to get too much love on DraftKings. A value play that I like a lot is 3,500 for Ben McLemore. Super cheap price point on him. He's been promoted into the starting lineup, so that should probably mean like mid-20s at least minutes, potentially get into the 30s on a day where Westbrook's probably is going to sit out. So yeah, I feel good about him. He's cheap compared to like Eric Gordon, who is 4,800. I think both are going to see similar minutes. Both are pretty streaky shooters. Might as well take the guy that it has $1,300 discount. So liking Ben McLemore. At power forward, Kristaps could play. Got to keep an eye on that, but don't think it's going to change a lot. Still like Montrezl Harrell at 7,000. It's a great price point on him. Well, not a great price. It's a decent price point without George, but it's a great matchup against the Cavs. But a tough play to get away from is PJ Tucker. Another value play that I like on the Rockets is Tucker and McLemore just to pair with Harden, just to be able to fit in Harden. You got to play some value, and I like both of them. I like Tucker especially here at 3,700. He always plays a lot of minutes, 35, 37. We'll get a little bit more opportunity without Westbrook. He hasn't had a big game in a while, in terms of scoring, he had a 17 rebound game against the Hawks. This could be like should definitely be a spot where he can get more rebounds just with the fast pace and all the possessions here. So Tucker is a pretty good option at either power forward or center. Speaking of center here, I think Valanciunas looks pretty good at 73. Price point has risen on him. I like Harrell at 7,000 a lot. I like Jaren Jackson at 68. Those are probably the ones that stick out most. So as of now, I think Montrezl Harrell looks pretty good here, 7,000. Just gets a nice permanent bump, big-time permanent bump without George, and it's a really good matchup against the Cleveland interior. They're awful at rebounding. Harrell should be able to dominate in the paint against Thompson, so definitely thinking that he can still pay off a 7,000 price point. And then at guard here, a cheap price on one of the other Clippers that I like is 5,300 for Patrick Beverley. Think he's at, just without George, there's more opportunity for Beverley to contribute in all aspects. He's played well the last couple games. He's going to get his minutes here in close games, can get up to 34, 35, especially without George. He's not a big-time shooter or scorer, but he should be able to make value at this price point. I think he's definitely still cheap enough. It's a great matchup. The Cleveland guards are awful defensively, like especially Sexton and Garland. And then another guy is Dylan Brooks, 5,400. I think is a good play. Yeah, so that's kind of what I like for Draftkings as an early look. And then for Fanduel, at point guard here, it's a little bit easier. Like Luka is priced really nicely at 10.9, but they also priced Harden really nicely. So I'm looking at Luka, looking at Ja Morant here, 7,400. I think Eric Bledsoe is a pretty good option here, 6,200. I also don't mind Patrick Beverley at 51. So those are the main guys that stick out to me on first glance. I think don't mind going Ja Morant here. He's starting to contribute in all aspects and all areas of the stat sheet with the rebounds and assists lately. He had a down shooting or scoring night, but if he puts up his usual 17 to 20, he's in line for a big game. He's been rebounding a lot more and playing a lot more minutes here. It's a great matchup. Houston plays no defense. It's going to be super fast paced. Morant averages way more fantasy points at home as well, so I think he's a pretty good option to build around. At shooting guard, it's Harden, it's Russell, it's Lou Williams. Those are the main three that I'm looking at the respective price points. If you're paying up, pay up for Harden. I think he's a really strong play. Tough not to play him. If you're playing in the mid-range, you play Russell, and then value is definitely Lou Williams. I like Dylan Brooks a little bit. But Harden is just impossible to fade at Fanduel at his price point, at least in cash. As of now, I mean, if something crazy happens during the day, but I think Harden is tough fade right now. Small forward, it's Kelly Oubre, 72 is a little bit easier to stomach on FanDuel, especially looking at these options here. If you're not paying up for Giannis, it gets pretty ugly here. I think Crowder is questionable. That could open up some more minutes for Brooks probably, and maybe some like Solomon Hill. But a cheap play that looks pretty good here is like Gordon at 4,100. Looks great at this price point. Without Westbrook, obviously, should start and should see a lot of minutes here. Well, not a lot, but probably we'll see like 28 to 30 minutes at least. I also think that Tim Hardaway's in a really good spot here, especially if Porzingis misses again. It's a great matchup against the Warriors. 4,700. He's not been getting a ton of love lately, but he's been solid here, crushing this price point. And the minutes, as I expected, are back up to 30. So 30 minutes out of a $4,700 Tim Hardaway, especially on, even though I think Luka's a great play, if you can't get up to him, makes sense to get a guy like Tim Hardaway because there's a great chance that they're going to put up a lot of points, and if it's not Luka, hopefully it's Tim Hardaway that catches fire and puts up 25-plus points. Power forward, it's probably like, I don't mind Randall, don't mind Jackson. I like Draymond at 5,900. And then for a really pump play, it's like PJ Tucker at 39 looks pretty good as well. But right now, Draymond at 59 on Fanduel is pretty good play here. Hopefully it's going to be a close game. If it is, I think at home, Draymond is going to get his usual minutes here. Only played 23 against the Grizzlies. It was a blowout. Probably didn't see his last 7 to 8 minute run in the fourth. But usually he's been playing 30 to 31 minutes. So if he gets those kind of minutes here, feel pretty good that he can return this price point, especially with how good he is with the blocks and steals. He's really dependent on that. And I think he can. If he has a good game in there, he's not going to be a big-time scorer. But hopefully he can just contribute in all aspects and return a solid line at 59. And then at center, I'm looking at Capella. Definitely not going to pay $9,000 for Gobert. I'm looking at Capella, Valanciunas, and Harrell, the main three. Don't mind DeAndre Ayton as well, though he's been coming off the bench, so his minutes are probably not going to be like 35 to 37. But he could be a good option. It's a great matchup. But really, I'm between Montrezl Harrell and Jonas Valanciunas. Both look great to me, just like they did on Sunday. Going to be kind of tough for me to prioritize, probably flip-flopping throughout the day. But right now, I think Valanciunas looks good. 67. Probably going to be lower owned than Harrell. But on Draftkings, he's much more expensive than Harrell by like $5, $6, or I think $300 more dollars. So a couple hundred more, I think he's probably the better play just in terms of upside here. I don't think we'll see a lot of times where Harrell goes for 60. But Valanciunas is going to be out there to defend Capella, especially if Clark misses, then his minutes are even more secure. So I'll definitely be keeping an eye on that. If Clark is in, maybe go to Harrell. But yeah, that's what I'm liking throughout, for Tuesday as of now. As always, keep you posted on Twitter. Thanks for watching. You can visit the website, dfsprocess.net, if you want to join. And good luck tonight.